Yo, what is going on, my Norwegian carnivorous gorillas? I'm back again with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the SoundPEATS Capsule3 Pro. But before we even get into that, just make sure you follow your boy because it's tough out here. Now let's get into it. Alright, so design wise, we're obviously going to start with the case first because it's the first thing you interact with before you even use the earbuds. When you put your hands on the case themselves, there's nothing really that seems out of the ordinary or even captivating. The only thing that stood out to me, which is actually a pretty big positive, is the weight balance in the case itself. And considering how much battery life it's able to store in here, it's unreal just comparing the battery life to weight ratio. And at the front there's an LED light to indicate just how much battery life you have, from 50 to 100%, which is green, and then between 10% and 50%, which is yellow, and then anything below 10% will indicate red. And as for charging, it's done through USB-C, which at this point that is the norm, and considering anything else besides USB-C, especially when it comes to charging cases, is outdated. That makes sense because USB-C is faster for transferring data, and most importantly, it is better for charging. Now, the matte black and the golden bronze finish is probably the best part of these earphones, and it just speaks volumes, no pun intended, about just how elegant it looks. This is one of those cases where it just looks better to hold it in person. Now, the inside material where you place the earphones is really smooth, and it's also just a morale boost, and feels nice just to know that your earphones are in a case that at least mitigates scratches as much as possible to prevent any damage or long-running damage in the future for your earphone. But this is one of those cases where you can just whip it out just for the flex. Alright, so now my gorillas, when it comes to the earphones, it's pretty much the same story as the case. When it comes to the two-tone colors in the matte black and golden bronze finish. Now, this design of the earbuds is pretty much straightforward. Basically, the ear tip, the microphones, and the hand. Now, again, also when it comes to the earbuds, ironically, I don't know how they did it too, but the earbuds are also really lightweight, which in the long run is good for comfort for extended periods of use. And this is just another aspect that, from my own personal experience, increases earphones comfortability. And just, you know, anything lightweight is welcome in my box stuff. And as for the quality, first things first, it has high-res audio. So you can rest assured the quality is going to be premium quality from the get-go. And it also has LDAC or codec, whichever you prefer. So basically what this means, it has better Bluetooth transmission than just ordinary Bluetooth transmission. So when it comes to the active noise cancellation, these earphones are pretty nuts. They're not the best on the market, but honestly, they compete with the higher-end earphones. And the best part about it is I like that they use active hybrid noise cancellation. So basically how this works is instead of using a microphone either on the inside or the outside to block out noise for you, instead what this does, it uses microphones on both ends, and it basically picks up ambient sounds and tries to block them out for you, this way keeping you isolated more and just making the sound and audio quality better to the ear. And in my personal opinion, these things, they go crazy. And for phone calls, they sound great because there's a feedback microphone on the inside, a feed-forward microphone on the outer side, and finally the talking mic at the bottom. Now, the thing is, the earphones, they last about 8 hours, which it's not as if it's intended that anybody can just sit through 8 hours of audio. Maybe you're capable of that, but roughly 8 hours is thoroughly outmatched by higher-end competitors on the market. However, they do make up for this by making it all together with the case. You can have 52 hours of battery life. So in a sense, you do have the trade-off where the earphones don't have an extremely long battery life, but coupled with the case, you have more than enough to last you a couple days, literally. Now, everything about these earphones is nice and dandy, except when it comes to the commands a little bit, because it's a mixture of long presses and triple press and double press type of stuff, so it just gets a little mixed up. For example, you hold 2 seconds for one command, you hold 1.5 seconds for another, and then you'll have double presses and then triple press commands, and then see, that's only for the left side as well. The right side will also have its own commands, so it can just get a little overwhelming for someone who's just typically trying to get earphones just for the audio instead of all these commands. And another positive is it comes with Bluetooth 5.3, which is more efficient, and it has a much more stable connection as well. Two other features added is there's also the game mode and the transparency mode. So the transparency mode works so that everything outside my periphery is still audible. Now the transparency mode does work really well, don't get me wrong, but I'm just the type where if I'm in an environment where I don't have to be using earphones, I'm not. Rather than be the type of person that will always have earphones, but I'll just be using transparency mode, and if you're gonna talk to me, the earphone's still gonna be in my ears. Like it just gets a little, you know, rude, or it just looks out of the ordinary for me personally. Like if I want to talk to somebody, I'll just take them off. I don't need to constantly have my earphones in my ears just to be able to communicate. Now, when it comes to the audio quality, this is the bread and butter of these earphones. Now, it has 12mm drivers, and couple that with the active noise cancellation, the sound quality, as I said before, just becomes top tier. And the music I was listening to sounded fantastic, and there wasn't any screeches in highs or lows. And the bass is also a strong suit for these earphones, which for me personally, I've always thought the bass is the backbone of music. It's what keeps everything together. So if that's sounding good, the rest is gonna sound perfect as well. Now, when it comes to general audio quality, like listening to podcasts, watching movies or videos, audio clarity is something that I value a lot. And when it came to phone calls or even watching the videos or podcasts, I never found myself trying to replay or asking someone to repeat themselves, because I just was unable to pick out the audio, what they were saying, or what I was listening to. Or at no points did I feel like I had to turn down the volume of these earphones because they got a little screechy or it just got a little odd sounding and it didn't feel right in the ears. I feel like with these headphones, they did a great job of balancing a lot of stuff in the audio department correctly, that it's almost taken for granted because of how comfortable they are and how elegant they look. Meanwhile, the audio just does, you know, wonders. Now, there isn't too much else that can be added about these earphones, from USB-C charging to the transparency mode and the touch controls, which I've covered a lot of times before, which just basically falls down to personal preference, whether you like ultra buttons or touch capacitive buttons, all the way down to the lengthy battery life, if you include the case, and the active hybrid noise cancellation. Now, I think based solely just off how good the sound quality is compared to the price, and looking at the price to quality ratio, I think these headphones are definitely a 10 out of 10, simply for the price that you pay for them and the type of quality that you get in return for them. But then again, let me know what you think. Was there too much writing in this video? Or maybe the earphones are just that good if you've tried them before. Give me your opinions. I'm About